Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is doing okay. Stay hygiene. In today's lesson, we're going to study about inequalities. What are inequalities and how to solve them? Today's lesson objectives are: first, you need to understand the definition of an inequality and the different meanings of the inequality symbols. Second thing, you need to know how to graph an inequality on the number line, not a plane or anything. Third one is how to write and solve one-step addition, subtraction, inequality with integers. And basically, this is related to most of the lessons that we studied before. The vocabulary words that you need to know are inequality. And this, you will actually know about this once you see it, which is now. First, what is an inequality? It's basically a mathematical sentence that compares quantities. Inequalities, they contain four symbols. The first one is this, which we call it less, this, and this. Why do we call it first an inequality? Because obviously it's something not equal. As we studied before, we studied like x equal 3, or if you remember 2x plus 5 equal blah blah blah, it could be 2. This in here we call it equal. How about if they were not equal? They were unequal. Well, in this case, it's going to be one of the four things. First one, it's either going to be like this, which is less, like saying, that's how we read it. 4 is less than 8, or it could be greater. 3 is greater or bigger than negative 2. And there is the two new additions, which is basically this. This is basically like a partnership between an equal and unequal, which we call it is less than or equal to. So it could be one of the two things. And negative 6 is less than or equal to 1. Obviously, it's not equal to 1, so it's a less than 1. Or we can say 5 is less or equal to 5. Obviously, 5 is not less than 5, but it's also equal to 5. Now you may ask me, why? It's already obvious. Negative 6 is less than 1. Well, in this case, in these number examples, there are, obviously, you can see them. But in the future questions, when it's x or y or any other variable, we don't know. It could be equal or it could be less. The last symbol, which is greater or equal, like saying 9 is greater or equal to 6. Obviously, it's not equal to 6. It's greater than 6. Or we can say negative 7 is greater or equal than negative 7. Obviously, it's not greater than negative 7. It's equal to negative 7. Now that you know all about the inequality symbols and the definition of inequality, let's see how we can actually graph these. We have, obviously, a few steps to do that. It's actually only 2 steps, and it's very easy. We have the first example, which is an equality x is less than 3.5, or 3 5/10. How do we graph this on a number line? Obviously, we need first a number line. This is what a number line would look like. Obviously, in the middle would be a 0. In here would be the positive numbers, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. And in here would be the negative, which is negative 1, negative 2, blah, 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 blah. Keeps going forever. That's why we call it a number line, and that's why we have these small pointers. Why do we have these small pointers? Because it means they keep going into infinite and negative infinite. So, let's see. Step 1, we need to place in here. Step 1, we need to place the endpoint as an open dot. Why an open dot? They say an open dot, and as you can see from here, it's actually an open dot. For an equality that contains less or greater symbol, we must write an open dot. It's not any other dot, it's an open, like this, It's not gonna be a very small dot like this, no. You must show it clearly, it's an open dot. In that way, I would know this only contains a less than or greater than symbols. And the second point is basically to draw an arrow that points to the left, as you can, that shows the numbers, as you can see from this number line. In this number line, we have this 0. We have in here the positive numbers, and we have here the negative numbers. The inequality, let me just clear. this for you. Oh, sorry. Let me just clear this for you so you can see more clearly and you don't get confused with anything. This part, if you want to skip forward, you can skip forward. Now, again, we have x is less than 3.5. Now we have this number line, starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it keeps going, negative 1, negative 2. X is what? It's less than 3.5. Now where is the 3? This is the 3. But they said 3.5. You have between the 3 and 4 is the half. And as you can see from here, we did what? An open dot. Again, an open dot. Why? Because it's less or greater only. It's not going to be the other symbols, which is less or equal, greater or equal. No. In that case, we use the closed dot. This one, it's a it's an open dot. And since x is less than 3.5, they didn't say how much less. Obviously, all we have to do is draw one line and just do the pointer, which means it keeps going forever. So now, if you want to read from the this graph, from this number line, once you see an open dot, you're gonna know it's gonna be what? It's gonna be less or equal. Now, take a look at the pointer. Where does it point? It points to the left. Obviously, it means it's less. So this one is the right one. What's the number in here? It's a 3.5. As you can see, it's 3.5. And on the left, since they didn't show any point in here, we're just going to call it X or Y or G or any letter you want. Let's see the second cases. In this case, we need to find